By the end of this video, you will know how to blacken chicken and fish in just minutes. Let's get cooking. Hello and welcome to I Want to Cook. My name is Chef Matt and this channel is all about helping you be a better cook. And yes, today we are going to blacken some salmon and some chicken. Now, last week's video, I showed you how to make blackening seasoning at home. That was kind of step one of this process. Today, I'm going to show you how to actually blacken food. Now, just as a quick recap, blackening is usually associated with Cajun cooking. And what happens is you coat a thin piece of meat, poultry, or fish in a nice rub of savory seasonings, and then you just sear it on a really, really hot pan. And that creates this wonderful, flavorful crust that is almost blackened in color. It sounds kind of sophisticated, but trust me, it's really easy to do once you get the hang of it. And today we're gonna do it. So as I mentioned, blackening works best with thin pieces of meat, fish, or poultry, and that's because you really just want to almost flash it in a pan, and you want to make sure that everything gets cooked nice and evenly and isn't too overdone. So for this example, I'm using salmon. This is a pretty thin piece, and I'm also using some chicken. This is chicken breast. That's called a chicken cutlet, and it's just a thin, pounded out piece of chicken. You can buy this in the store oftentimes. Just look for thinly sliced chicken, or if you want, you can get a breast and pound it out yourself. But the key to successful blackening is going to be using a thin cut of meat like this. Now, the first thing we're going to do is just kind of blot this dry. You want to make sure that the surface is not too wet. Wet is the enemy of a good blackening because what happens is the food will steam instead of sear. So I'm just kind of blotting this dry with a paper towel, and make sure to throw this out. We don't want salmonella or food poisoning or anything like that. Now what we're gonna do is put a thin layer of oil just right on top of the fish and the chicken, and this is going to help the seasoning adhere. You could also use melted butter. That's a very traditional way of blackening. Once that oil is on, we are just going to liberally season the top with our blackening seasoning. And as you'll recall last week, I made blackening seasoning. I put it in this shaker can, and you can just put a nice healthy amount right on top. Really just kind of crust that in. This smells so good, by the way. There's paprika in here, there's various peppers, there's some herbs. It's absolutely delicious. Now for the fish, this is actually skin on one side and flesh on the other, so I only need to do one side. But for the chicken, I'll do both sides. And again, we're just gonna shake this right on top here. Okay, and be sure to wash those hands. With our fish and chicken now having our blackening season on, we are ready to cook. But here's another pro tip for blackening. This is a really high heat cooking method, and it creates a lot of smoke. So if you are able to cook outside, cook outside. Otherwise, you're gonna have to turn your kitchen vent to really, really high. And if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. But just beware, this process creates a lot of smoke, a lot of heat. So if you can cook outside, cook outside. And that's where we're gonna go. And here we are outside. Now, you don't need a really fancy setup for this. I'm just using a camp stove. Now, as for pan, I highly recommend using a cast iron. You can use stainless steel, you can use aluminum, but blackening is really best done in a good old-fashioned cast iron pan. Now, I've already lit this. It is heating over about medium-high, and the first thing we're gonna do is put some oil right in the pan. Now, when I say this pan needs to be hot, it needs to be hot. What we're gonna do is coat this pan with this oil, and we are going to wait a few minutes until it is literally starting to smoke. That's when the oil reaches its smoke point. So when you see the pan just starting to smoke, that's when we're ready to sear. Okay, our pan has been heating for a couple minutes and it is getting so hot that just small wisps of smoke are starting to waft up. That's what you want for that. Again, this is really high heat cooking. So let's begin with the chicken. And again, your pan has got to be really, really hot for this. So just take each piece. We're gonna lay it right in. That sizzle, that's what you want to hear. We're going to cook these on each side for about 2 to 3 minutes. That's all you need. So put it in the pan and let it cook. Okay, these chicken cutlets have been sizzling away for about 3 minutes now. It smells amazing. It's kind of loud. Things are sizzling. Smoke is coming up. But let me show you what the first cooked side looks like because we're about to flip. So look at this. This is exactly what you want. So just give these a flip. And we're going to cook for another 2 to 3 minutes until this chicken is nice and done. Remember, that's 165 degrees. It's been just a few more minutes, and just like that, our chicken is done. Now, I'm using a new pair of tongs here. We're going to set these aside, let them rest. I'm using a new pair of tongs because we don't want any cross-contamination with the tongs I've already used on the raw chicken. So again, we're just going to set these aside. Oh my gosh, these look so amazing. I can't wait to dig in. Okay, and now it's time for the salmon, and we're going to do something a little bit different. Because the salmon has skin on one side, we are going to put the skin side down first. And whether you're using blackened salmon or not, if it has skin on it, it's always a good idea to put the skin side down first. Hear that sizzle? Okay, same drill. We're going to let these cook for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we'll flip, continue blackening. Okay, it's been a couple minutes. I'm gonna flip the salmon, and I'm just using a spatula for this. So we're going to lift, and that skin is nice and crispy. You know, some people like eating salmon skin, that crispy side. Some people don't, you know, whatever floats your boat. Personally, I actually give it to my dog. Loves salmon skin. So anyways, we are going to let this side with the blackening seasoning cook for about 2 or 3 minutes until it is nice and crusty, and then, well, then we're going to dig in. And here we go. Let's take these salmon off. Oh, look at this. Perfectly blackened. That seasoning has just encrusted this fish. So same deal. We'll put it in here. And just like that, we blackened salmon and chicken in just minutes. Now, normally I would serve this with a side dish, you know, mashed potatoes, rice, vegetables, you name it. But I'm just gonna dig right in because this smells so good. So I'm gonna squeeze a little bit of lemon right on top of the salmon. You can even put a little bit on top of the chicken if you want. But let's just dig into this. Get a piece of this blackened part. And you may not be able to see it, but when you cook it on the skin side down first, the meat pulls right away, so you don't have to like fight with it. That is so savory, and that blackening seasoning has just a little bit of crust. It's fantastic. Let's try a piece of this chicken here. We've let it rest, and that's always a good idea when you're cooking chicken, is to just kind of let it rest for a minute or two before you dig in. That kind of lets the juices recirculate. So this looks so amazing. And here again, that blackening has a smokiness to it. It's got a nice char. It's just absolutely delicious. I hope you try this. So that is how to blacken food in minutes. Again, keys to blackening are using thin cuts of meat. You can use beef, you can use pork for this if you like, but I would go for a thinner cut of meat so that the inside isn't raw when you cook it. You want to make sure everything is cooked to your liking, especially when you're dealing with something like fish or chicken. Again, a cast iron pan works best, and if you have the ability to cook outside because it creates a lot of smoke. So if you have like a side burner on your barbecue or a setup like this, that's a really great way to go. And if you are cooking it inside, be sure to put that ventilation fan to high. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out the video. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Welcome to my kitchen, including my outdoor kitchen. Until next time, I hope you want to cook.